and share my screen. And we're going to get started. Again, you can have a regular sheet of paper, that is fine to work these problems out. Again, you're going to upload these, so make sure that you are taking notes. So we're going to start with number 1, and we're going to solve different types of questions. So like I may not do number 3 and number 4 because they're pretty much the same, but I'll try to go through all of them. I will upload this test review today. Like when I work it all out, all the problems will be worked out and you guys can look at them. So you'll have all night to look at them until we have class tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will not have an official Zoom at all. You will just take your test during my class. So your test will be your attendance. So please make sure that you do that test tomorrow, okay? Question 1, we're solving for K. The quicker you answer, and I don't mean this in a bad way, I'm not trying to rush you, but the quicker that you answer, the more questions we can get through. So don't hold back, okay? We're solving for K. What's on the same side but not with it on number 1?
4.
Ooh, not with.
I mean
7, right. So that's okay. One that looks like this, these two are together, so we need to get rid of that -7 first. So the way we get rid of it is we add 7. We're left with K over 4 because the 7's cancel out, equals, and -12 plus 7 is -5. Okay. Now, how do I get rid of the divide 4?
Times 4.
Multiply both sides by 4. Your top and bottom cancel out over here. You're left with K equals -5 times 4 is -20. And that's it. All right, so on number 2, we're solving for N. What's on the same side as N but not with it?
1.
Yes, how do I get rid of a positive 1?
Subtract 1.
subtract.
Remember to bring down the whole -5. That's where people mess this question up, and I'm seeing that on your quizzes and stuff too. So bring down the whole -5 in, and -34 minus 1 is -35. You guys can use your calculators tomorrow. That's perfectly fine. To finish it up, how do I get rid of the -5?
Divide.
Divide by -5. We get N equals negative divided by negative is a +7. Okay, watch your signs. All right, so 1 and 3 almost look alike. The difference in number 1 and number 3 is that the 7 is not with the K on this one, so that's why we get rid of it first. But on this one, the 9 is up there with the P. So what do we need to get rid of first?
The 8.
Yep, and how do we get rid of a divide 8?
Multiply.
So we're going to multiply by 8, both sides, so those will cancel out. Bring down that whole P minus 9, and then -3 times 8 is -24. What's my last step to this problem?
Add 9 to both sides.
9 to both sides. So we get P equals, what's -24 plus 9?
-15.
Perfect, thank you. -15. And again, if you guys need your calculators for that, that's perfectly fine. All right, number 4 is the same, so I'm just going to skip it for right now. Tell me what you would do though. What's your first step?
Multiply by 4.
Multiply by 4, and then we'll get rid of the 7. All right, we might come back to it, we may not, but when you get it on Canvas, when I upload it, it will have the answer on there. All right, so then on 15, what do we need to do on 15?
Multiply by 7.
Number 5, not 15. I'm sorry, y'all. Multiply by 7. I apologize. So leave the 17 plus 2R. We have an equals. Make sure that you're copying the problem right. I had somebody copying the problem wrong yesterday. Just be careful. 7 times 3 is 21R, and 7 times -4 is -28. What do we have to do now?
Combine like terms.
Yes, we have the 7 and the -28 on this side that we need to put together. So everything else is fine. 17 plus 2R equals 21R. But what's 7 minus 28?
Negative 21.
Negative 21. The next step is we need to put our R's together. I always move the smallest one. It doesn't matter which one you move. You can move whichever one. But I always move the smallest one. So the smallest one is 2. How do I get rid of a positive 2?
Subtract
Subtract.
2.
So we get 17 equals 19R minus 21. Make sure you bring down that full negative 21. Now, how do I finish?
Add 21.
Add 21 to both sides. I get 38 equals 19R. Last step.
Divide by
Perfect. Divide 19. And I get R equals 2. That's it, guys. All right. Number 6 is pretty much just like that, except for you're going to add the K's together, okay? So same thing. We're going to distribute. The 10 plus 2K stays the same. 6 times 6 is 36. Be careful of your signs when you're multiplying. 6 times negative 3K is negative 18K. Okay. We're going to keep going. We have like terms on this side, just like we did on the last problem. We didn't touch 10 plus 2K. We didn't touch the 36. Negative 18 plus 7 is negative 11K. Negative 11K. Which one is your smallest K now?
2K.
Negative 11.
Yeah. Negative 11 is actually your smaller one, but is it okay if you move your 2 first?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do whatever you want to do. I'm going to add the 11. If you move the 2, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So we get 10 plus 13K equals 36. What do I do now?
Subtract 10.
I get 13K equals 26. Last step, divide by 13.
2.
And I get 2. That's perfect. Okay. 7 and 8 are exactly the same as those. I want to look at number 9. They're all the same. 9, 10. They're all, guys, they're all the same. We're distributing. The only reason I really want to look at 9 is because it has this negative to the outside. What is a negative times R?
Negative R.
Negative 1R.
What's negative times 5?
Negative 5.
Perfect, negative 5. So just change the sign. Plus R equals 7 minus 4R. We're going to add our like terms. What happens to your R's on this side?
They cancel out.
Yeah, so we don't need them. We're just going to bring down the negative 5 equals 7 minus 4R. Finish solving it, subtract the 7. We get negative 12 equals, bring down the full negative 4R. Divide by negative 4, and R is positive 3. Okay, I want to make one quick note. What if our answer is false? What does that mean?
No solution.
That's how you're going to see it on your test. The answer will be no solution. If it's true, it's all real numbers. All real numbers. So don't forget that you could get that as well. And this has nothing to do with those 2 problems. That's just extra. Okay, so if you get false. Now, if you give me, if it's like a type in answer and you type in false, I'm gonna give you credit for it. So don't stress out about that. Okay. All right, so that was your goal 1, and we'll talk about goals in a minute. As we go through this, if I need more time, we might have to come back to this room. So if this cuts off, so it cuts off after 40 minutes. If it cuts off, we're just gonna come right back in. All right. The next one is inequalities. So we're gonna solve inequalities. Start with number 1. What do I need to do on number 11? What do I need to do on number 11?
Combine like terms.
Yep. They're the exact same as the ones in front. Remember, there's only one extra rule, and when we get there, I'll tell you what it is. So we get x. What is 1 minus 5?
-4.
X minus 4 is greater than -10. Finish it up just like before. Add 4. And your answer, bring down that sign. X is greater than -6. How do I graph this?
Find the -6 in this open circle going to the right.
It's open and to the right. It's open because there's no equal mark. So open at -6. And then this inequality is pointing to the right. Okay. Most of your questions you can get from just getting this answer. There's a couple that you'll have to watch the graphing on. Okay. All right, number 12, combine like terms again. 5n plus 6n. We get 0 is less than 11n. Remember what I told you, don't stop here, keep going. I need to get rid of the 11. So I divide it. I'm still gonna get 0 and that's okay. But I don't like to graph it from this. So I have to turn it around completely. So it's eating, remember guys, the alligator mouth from when you were younger? It's eating the, yeah, so it's eating the n. So we're gonna keep it that way. So that's your answer. How would I graph this?
Find the 0 in this open circle going to the right.
Okay. Okay. Your next one is the same exact problem. The next one is the same exact problem. So 13 and 14 look just like those. 15 is different because you have to distribute. I want to do number 16. I want to do number 16. We're going to distribute the 7. What is -7 times 8a? You have calculators, use them. -7 times 8.
-56.
-56a. -7 times
A.
-2 is a +14 greater than or equal to -434. Again, if you have to use calculators, use calculators. I'm solving for A. The 14 is not with it, so to get rid of the add, I subtract. I'm bringing down that -56a greater than or equal to, what do I get?
-448.
And again, use those calculators. My last step to solve this problem is divide by -56. What do I need to remember though when I divide or multiply by a negative?
Flip the inequality.
Flip the inequality. And then what is 448 divided by 56? Does anybody know?
8.
Negative over negative makes a positive. So this is your answer right here. Okay. Again, flip that inequality when you multiply or divide by a negative. Okay, we're going to do one more of these. We're going to do 17. And again, if I can come back to more, I will come back to some more. You're going to distribute your 4. That's the first thing you should always do is distribute. We get negative 156 is less than 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times negative 5x is negative 20x. How do I solve this?
Subtract 4.
I get negative 200 is less than, bring down your full 20x, negative 20x. We're going to divide by negative 20. What happens when I divide by a negative?
Sign flips.
So we get x on this side, a greater than symbol. What is negative 200 divided by negative 20?
40.
Try again. Help her out. Help her out. Guys, you have phones with calculators.
10.
10. Negative over negative makes a positive 10. Rewrite it. It's eating the 10. So when I rewrite it, it must eat the 10. That's it. Any questions on that part? All right, again, make sure you're taking notes because you're going to upload them today. That's your homework assignment, is to upload notes. That's it. All right, 19 and 20 are the same. I'm going to move on and possibly come back. All right, consecutive integers. The sum of 3 consecutive odd integers. Remember, if it's just consecutive integers, you do n plus 1, and if there's a third one, n plus 2. We won't go over 3. If it's consecutive odd or even, you're going to do n plus 2, and n plus 4. So don't forget that. Doesn't matter whether it says odd or even. All right, the sum of 3 consecutive odds. So 3 odds. Here's odds, 1, 2, 3. The sum means add them. So we're going to add n plus n plus 2 plus n plus 4 is 111. Guys, I'm telling you right now, they are this easy. Okay, they are this easy. It looks like the same question. We just put a different number right here. Same question, we put a different number right there. So if you'll watch your review or you'll take notes, you're going to be fine. And like I said, what you don't take, I'm going to upload everything and you'll have it. How many n's do I have total?
3.
3 n's. What is 2 plus 4?
6.
And then we're going to solve. How do we solve? Somebody else, how do we solve?
Subtract the 6.
Perfect. Subtract 6. We get 3n equals 105. How do I solve?
Divide by
Divide
3.
by 3.
Now realize what it says when I get this answer. N equals 105 divide 3.
35.
Thank you. It says what are the 2 numbers, but it should say what are the 3 numbers. So if 35 is my first odd, what's my next odd?
37.
And what's my third one? 39. 39. That's it. All right, so watch the question that I asked. This one asked the 3 numbers. The next one's going to ask for the smallest one. So if this one would have asked for the smallest, we would have gave 35. Make sure you give what they ask for. 2 consecutive. So here's our consecutives. We want 2, so we're not looking at the n plus 2. Just the n and the n plus 1 gives us 33. How many total n's do we have?
2.
2.
So 2n plus 2 equals 33. How do I solve?
Subtract 1.
I get 2n equals 32. And I'm going to divide. And I get n equals 16. The next consecutive would be 17, but what does it want?
The smallest.
Then my answer should be 16. Okay. So then it goes into perimeter. Be careful what they ask for. One is rectangle, one is triangle. Okay, one is rectangle, one is triangle. So we're going to draw a rectangle. And remember I told you guys I put the perimeter inside so I don't forget what it is. So the perimeter is 58. The length of the rectangle is 5 more than 3 times the width. So how do I write 5 more than 3 times the width?
5 plus 3, hang on. 3x.
5 plus 3W.
You X, you can do W. It's whatever you want. I don't mind, okay? It's whatever you want. What is our width going to be? What did we write for our width?
W.
W, or in this case, I wrote an X. If you want a W, that's fine. How long is this side? What am I going to write for this side right here?
5 plus 3x.
Perfect. And for this side right here?
X.
X. What does perimeter mean?
Add all the sides.
The sides. Okay, so we're going to add them up. I'm going to start on the top. 5 plus 3x. I'm going to go to the side, which is just x. So I added this one and this one. I'm going to get the bottom, 5 plus 3x. And I'm going to get the other side. So there's all 4 sides. And the perimeter is 58. So they add to 58. Count up all your x's. So I have 3, 1, 3, and 1. How many total
Is it
x's?
okay if you already put them together?
Do I?
8.
Is it okay if you already like put them
Yeah,
all
yeah,
together?
yeah, absolutely. 8x, and then what's 5 plus 5?
10.
10.
10 equals 58. We're going to subtract 10. We get 8x equals 48. We're going to divide by 8. And we get x equals 6. It asked for what?
The length.
Is this the length?
No, that's the width.
That's the width. So you need to be careful on this question. 23 and 24, you're probably not putting this answer, you're probably using it. So we have to go back over here and put it in. 5 plus 3 times 6, which is 5 plus 18, which is 23. That's the answer that they're looking for. Be careful. So a lot of people give me this on the test, but it's going to be wrong because they didn't ask for the width. They asked for the length. All right, so this one is a triangle. It says the length of the second side is 4 times the first side, and the length of the third side is 1 more than twice the length of the second side. Sounds crazy, but we're going to slow it down. I always just make a triangle that looks like this. I probably shouldn't, but I do. And the perimeter is 53. All right. You can put whatever. This is the first side, this is the second side, this is the third. I don't care. You can pick any side. It's not going to matter. The length of the second side, so this one, is 4 times the first side. How do I write 4 times the first side?
4x.
Okay. The length of the third side is 1 more than twice the second side. So here's the second side. How do I do 1 more than twice this?
4x plus 1.
but I have to do twice this. So what does twice mean?
Multiply by 2.
So this is actually going to be 2 times 4x and then plus 1. Okay? 2 times 4x and then plus 1. Well, it didn't say anything about the first side. What do I label the first side?
X.
Perfect. Now we do perimeter. X plus 4x. What is 2 times 4x?
8x.
We'll go ahead and put that. Plus 8x plus 1 gives us that perimeter of 53. Is everybody okay? Add your like terms. How many total x's do I have?
13.
So 13x plus 1 equals 53. How do I solve?
Subtract 1.
I get 13x equals 52. Finish it out. And I get x equals 4. Did it ask for the first side? Come on, guys. Did it ask for the first side?
No.
What did it ask for?
The
The
largest.
length of the largest side.
Which one, 1, 2, or 3, do you think is going to be the largest?
3.
3. So 2 times 4 times 4 plus 1. What is 4 times 4?
16.
Times 2,
34.
32
32.
plus 1 is,
33.
that's your answer. So 33 would be what we're looking for. The next few questions are really quick. Okay. So this one says, do a table. You guys don't have to be super formal in this. A table looks like this. So a table looks like this. List your x and your y. So your coordinate, your first one is -2, 5. Your next one, -4, 16. -6, 5. -5, 14. That's literally it. Your test is going to be the same way. What does ordered pairs mean? It says list these as a set of ordered pairs. What are ordered pairs? You guys don't know what ordered pairs are?
Their coordinates.
Yeah, they're just points. Points are coordinates. So those are all ordered pairs. Okay, I got about 10 minutes on this one. Again, don't worry if we go out, we can come back in. It's not hard. So we look at our x. Our x is 0. And what is it pointing at? And it really should be pointing at like this 7. So we write it like this, 0, 7. That's it. What is the 1 pointing to?
6.
So our coordinate is 1, 6. What is the 2 pointing to?
8.
And what is the 3 pointing to?
8.
That's your coordinates. That's it, guys. So don't make it harder than what it is. Everybody good? I'm gonna flip my page. If you need it back, we'll get back to it. All right, so I looked at your quizzes from yesterday, and the one thing about the domain and range is make sure you put at least to greatest. Remember, domain is your x values least to greatest, and range are your y values least to greatest. I don't even care that you didn't put like the brackets or anything like that. That's fine. Okay. What is your domain? Look at your x's. What's your smallest x?
4.
4.
And then keep going. 4.
6.
Keep going.
6. 8. 10.
Perfect. And again, that's all you need to do, but it has to be least to greatest. What's your range? Your least Your least y.
-2, -1, 0, 1.
Perfect. That's it. So that's dimension range from a table. We're going to do it from coordinates. Look at your x's and write down your least x. Then go in order to greatest. So what's your least to greatest?
-1.
1, 0, 1, 7.
Perfect. Somebody else, your range. Look at your y coordinates. So here's 1, 1, 1, and 1. And we're going to talk about this in just a second. So tell me what your least one is.
-1.
-1. What's your next one?
1.
1.
And then we have 2 2s, right? You only have to list it once. You don't have to do it twice. If you do it twice on accident, it's okay. Hang out with her. All right. Evaluate the function. Remember, we're just plugging in. So what that means is we're going to write the function. And then we're going to put that -2 in. So 6 times -2 plus 3. Always use parentheses. You guys have your calculators. You just type it in like you see it. 6 parentheses -2 plus 3. What did we get?
-9.
-9. Guys, you should not miss these. If you're not answering, please mute. You should not miss these. Same thing on the next one. We have x squared minus 2x. Plug in for both x's. Your test is going to look just like this. So we're going to have 4 squared minus 2 times 4. Put it into your calculator. 4, the square outside, just like that. I want you to put it in just like that. Minus 2 times 4. What do we get?
8.
8. Y'all, that's it. That's how you plug in. If you plug in a negative here, you need to make sure you put those parentheses. I think it's a negative on your test. Put those parentheses. All right. Is this a function? Remember, a function can only have one x, no repeat x. Okay, so if we look at this, we have 5, -8. It doesn't point to anything else.
Function.
Yeah, we have 6, -9, 7, -9, 8, -10. So this is just a yes, no. Yes, it is a function because there's no repeat x's. What about 32? Is it a function?
No.
If we draw a vertical line, it does not pass the vertical line test because it hits twice. So this one's a no. All right, these are our last 2 questions. Last 2 questions. This question is missed more than any question on the test, right here. Your 2 steps for solving for y. Move x, and then divide by the number with y. Guys, 2 steps, that's all you got to do. So we're going to start with our x. It's a positive 5x. How do we move it?
Subtract.
I do not care tomorrow if you put it in the front or in the back. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is what you always forget. I need to bring down the full -4y. I like my x in front. If you put it in the back, it's not going to hurt anything. So there's your move x. Then it says divide. So we're going to divide everything by -4. Everything. And then we're going to simplify. What's a negative over a negative?
Positive.
Positive. 5 over 4 will not reduce. If you give me a decimal, that's okay too. I don't mind. But then look at 18 over -4. Try to get it so you can see my screen. If I do 18 divided by -4, I get a decimal, but I told you I don't really want a decimal. You can do it, it's fine. But I'll do math, enter, and get a new decimal, -9 over 2. I do not care if you give me the fraction or decimal. I'm just looking that you know how to do the steps. This is going to happen a lot in the next unit, so you need to make sure that you know how to do it. Okay. Last thing is we're going to solve for B. I'm going to rewrite it over here. What are we doing between 1/3 and B and H? What operation? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide?
Multiply.
Multiply.
So how do we get rid of it?
Divide.
Divide.
Divide. So we're trying to get rid of, if we're solving for B, the 1/3 and the H. Okay. That gives me B equals, and you can just rewrite this, and this is not a pretty form, but it does work. And that's it. If you don't like the fraction, then the way you get that out, whatever the denominator is, you multiply by it. So multiply the top and the bottom by 3, and that will give you 3B over H. You do not have to do this step. I'm just showing you. Okay. So there's your final answer. All right. So what I'm going to do, because I only have a little less than 2 minutes, is I'm going to go ahead and close this out, but I want you to come back. Please come back in here. I have to tell you how the test works. Okay. So I'm going to end this meeting and come back in. So go back to your Zoom link.